Our guest tonight is a comedian and the host and producer of the show City Council Chronicles.
Not so fast!
Filiblaster, my arch nemesis.
If I stop you from being sworn in, you can never become the councilman.
I'll stop you and your blaster ray.
Ha ha! I'd like to see you try, wimp.
Lon, save us! I have to get home and make love to my wife!
Please welcome Michael Karlik.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. Please have a seat.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, this is fun.
Great to have you here for our one and only Daily Show episode.
Oh, The Daily Show has been one of my favorites forever. And your impersonation of John Noah guy is fantastic.
Stew man. Beef-born. Kill Steve Beef.
Yeah.
Enough about us. About you, Michael.
Stop it.
Now, for those of you who don't know, the show City Council Chronicles is it's a weekly digest of local city council meetings from all over small town America, specifically.
Small town, big town, even Canada.
Whoa. Even Canada, America?
Even Canada, America.
Wow.
Which is the most American of the Americas.
That is true. That's my favorite state. Mm-hmm. I had a note that your first episode was Canada. Is that wrong? Are my researchers wrong?
I consider every episode my first episode, and so yes, it was
Good.
Canada.
Okay, nobody's getting fired. That's
No.
awesome. I could ask why Canada, but you know, Canada's great. But how are their city council meetings different than American ones?
They're simultaneously more polite and more vicious. There's a lot of apologizing, but it's for really nasty stuff that they say.
Okay, so they go nasty as us, but then they actually feel bad about it.
Yeah. I interviewed a counselor in Toronto. She called one of her fellow counselors a dangerous clown.
Whoa.
And this was before Donald Trump, so this is the original
Right.
dangerous clown.
Right, we do. We'd have to remember how politics was kind of pre-dangerous clown era.
Yeah, it was all crack smoking and clownery up in Toronto.
Right. Rob Ford was their big claim to fame. Oh, well, we talk about Canada all day, but let's talk about
they don't deserve it.
America.
Yes.
What have you learned traveling through these towns? Because you kind of avoid capitals and the larger cities, it seems.
I do a little bit of both. The thing with the larger cities is they have longer council meetings. Not talking 2 hours, not talking 3 hours. It's like a 5 or 6 hour city council meeting. So sorry, San Antonio, I'll come back another day.
I see, right.
But also, with the smaller cities, you get smaller city problems. Coyotes. I can't tell you how many coyote city council meetings I've seen. In one of them, they brought in a coyote trapper because the problem was that bad. Oh. And he held up this coyote trap, and it's not the cartoon version where it's got like all these teeth and it's got tetanus and he stuck his hand in it. It clamped on his hand, and he was still completely fine. So it makes me think trappers aren't that badass after all.
Right, or the traps aren't that badass.
Exactly.
Someone's lying to us.
Yeah, and then in another Coyote City Council meeting, this guy...
Is this Coyote City, Nevada, or is this just a city being plagued with coyotes?
Both.
Okay.
It's a city run by coyotes.
Right. Coyotes, come to order.
But he printed off this big Google document of like 100 pages about coyote attacks, and he threw it at the mayor, and he's like, well, what are you going to do to catch these coyotes? And the mayor, who's like this southern judge, very stern, and he said, well, we've been catching a lot of foxes, catching a lot of raccoons, so why don't you Google how to catch coyotes? And it was a sick burn, the sickest burn.
Room, applause break, mic drop situation.
Yeah, foghorns going off.
Take the little microphone and put it down like that. Right. Coyotes. Now, I have to ask, how many of these towns pronounce it coyote? What would you say percentage-wise of what you're looking at? Because the coyote problem, that's worse.
Yeah. Coyotes are coyotes on meth.
It's pretty much, right.
Usually it's coyote. I think coyote is a Western thing.
You know, I guess all these fancy politicians that are suit wear, they don't know they know how to say it. So.
Yeah, you would hope with all that money.
That's right.
Once you make your first million, you learn how to pronounce coyote.
Yeah, that's part of it. Do you think that the money, can you see an effect? Because it's interesting how you have the large governments versus the small governments.
Mm-hmm.
Small governments obviously have a lot less money, and it's probably a lot more valuable, you would think. But maybe, how do you see the money flow differently in these big and small? Because I can see, right.
In these smaller cities, they have arguments about whether to buy a new pickup truck.
Right. They got nothing going on.
Yeah, it's like the white van is breaking down on us. Let's buy a new white van.
Oh, the white van. And everyone knows.
The white van, the only
Right.
van that they have.
Sure.
And so some guy stands up and goes, well, we don't need to spend money on a new van. It's like, it's our only van. We need to, Craig.
That's right. We need Bagel Friday. What are we going to do?
Exactly. I've yet to see a Bagel Friday, but more cities should have it.
That's right. That's right. It's a morale booster, as we saw earlier in the show. Well, yeah. So small. Do you have a preference? I mean, it seems like the big ones are kind of a drag.
They're a lot less formal. When you go to smaller cities, you got people calling each other by their first names. Some guys will show up in T-shirts. They're very loosey-goosey. In the big cities, it's very formal. Like they're all sitting behind these tall desks, and they're all calling each other Mr. and Ms., and it's kind of boring. But you get a lot of crazier public commenters in the bigger cities. San Francisco has one of the wildest and wooliest public comments. You got people reading from the Bible. You got people videotaping themselves. You got people, I mean, whatever you think about San Francisco, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
That's the image
Full
of it.
parade in the room, nipple clamps and everything.
I talked to the former city council president out there. He told me people got naked in the council meetings, and that's just Tuesday there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I can see, right. So, I mean, you're cutting up the country. I mean, you're getting to see you're getting to see everything.
Seeing everything, baby. I don't have the money to travel, but this is like allowing me to see into people's cities. It's like as if I was there, I'm seeing their problems. And you know the clip you played earlier about the San Jose city councilman, he's a huge comic book nerd, and he has a Captain America figurine that he puts on his desk in front of him when he's in the council meeting.
Right, so people
And
don't forget.
Yeah, so his remarks are like sanctioned by Captain America, the most American of superheroes.
Right, it's hard to deny that. That is true.
It's right there in his name.
Deadpool might actually fit the bill more, but he's disgusting. Have you seen him?
I know nothing about comic books.
Oh, well, that's fine. Because Jon Stewart usually out-nerds his guests, so I'm right on par for the course.
I need to take a hit off of this. Hold on.
Nice, good, okay. Now you're down on my level.
I see nothing but swastikas right now.
All right, let's cover those up. I got a lot more ideas. All right. So, I mean, things have changed, pre-Trump, post-Trump. Have you noticed a change in city council meetings in this post-Trump era?
There's a lot of fear out there, and it's not like, oh, Trump is coming to our city and gonna mess us up. It's like people in mostly liberal areas saying, we need to stand up to him. And it's like, what are you, the mayor of Covina, California, going to do to stand up to Donald Trump? But they feel like they have an obligation, and it's not like anyone's going to toss him out because they were too tough on Trump.
Right. So, I mean, is there anything these people can do? Or is this like these small voices, are they so small that they're hard to find an impact?
I don't want to say to any small city mayors out there,
Give up. Right.
yes, but think about it. No, it's good that their citizens know that they're standing up for them. Although mayors can't, stand in front of your door when the ICE agents come to deport you, or they can't pay for your health care when eventually the Republicans figure out how to take it away from you.
It's good photo ops, though, for any Republicans running for office. This
For sure.
might keep your seat.
For sure.
So more fear, more anger.
And more foreigners making fun of us. There are Canadians who have mentioned the Bowling Green Massacre,
Right.
a very serious tragedy, but in jest. I don't take that kindly.
That's right. We deserve it, yeah.
We deserve a lot. But yeah, like when I talk to these city council members, it's like I don't talk to them as a Republican or a Democrat, because most of the time you don't know. Most people on the city council, they don't have a party. And I've talked to people who are definitely to the left. I've talked to people who are definitely to the right. But the stuff that comes up, it's not like build the wall. It's not drain the swamp. It's not lock her up. It's stuff like potholes or coyotes.
Right.
Or what was the one? One of the public commenters called the fire chief a scumbag and asked that he be fired.
Fired.
Yeah,
That's a big
it's
moment.
easier. It's easier to fire the fire chief of Oswego, New York, than to fire the national security advisor. I'll tell you that right now.
Wow. That put things in perspective. Yeah, there's a lot of ships. Small ships, big ships, right? They're turning around. So, yeah, this is the biggest ship, our government. And you're keeping track of the fleet, which is interesting.
I'm the skipper.
Yeah,
I try not to be Gilligan, but I'm more of the skipper.
that's fine.
What's the age demographic for this program?
Yeah, we're editing out anything that was on TBS.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I had so many Gunsmoke references right here that I'm going to keep in there.
Stay tuned for Bonanza Discourse Hour coming right up. We're going to talk Dallas next with Michael Karlik. Colorado. This is Colorado show.
Thank you for flying
We're
me
here
in, by
in
the way.
Denver. Yes, you're very welcome. Boy, my arm's tight. Colorado, you've done a couple towns in Colorado, right? Like a smaller, I forget. I don't know enough about Colorado to know them.
Oh, it's huge. I've done Alamosa, Colorado, which is in the south. I've done Brush with an exclamation point, Colorado.
I did see that one, because it's a town with an exclamation point in it.
Officially, they have an exclamation point.
I love it.
Which, the town is called Brush. If it were called Excelsior,
Right,
I would
right.
understand the exclamation point.
What is the excitement? There was some janitorial disaster. Brush! We gotta hurry, we're dying. Something. There's history there. Right. That's a great point. A very ridiculous exclamation point.
Yeah, well, when you're in the middle of nowhere, you gotta get excited about something.
That's all right. You gotta sell.
Yeah.
What's that? Producers tell me we're running out of time. Can you stick around for a couple more questions for the web?
Sure, I'd love to.
Fantastic, because actually this is all for the web and it doesn't really matter. All right. Stick around. We'll be back with more Michael Karlik right after this. All right, and we're back for the extended interview on the web. Just a little more time. Thank you for being with us, Michael Karlik, host of City Council Chronicles.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we're talking Colorado. You check all the different places out in the country, small towns, big towns. Colorado is experiencing definitely national spotlight right now. The rates of people moving here are crazy. The rent's going up. Obviously, marijuana is involved with this. And I've just found, as being someone who's moved here a couple of years ago, that Denver and Colorado are much more conscious and kind of progressive, active populations than I'm used to in Florida. Surprise. And
A lot fewer people getting eaten by alligators.
yes, fewer people selling their family members for drugs. Have you, Florida too. Have you found any, you've explored my home state a bit.
I've been in Florida.
Have you
yes.
noticed any city council differences from the rest of the 49?
Well, the heat gets to people. I've seen my fair share of shouting matches. I've also seen people showing up in board shorts and baseball caps to city council meetings, which is that formal dress in
It's
Florida?
formal when you match your Dale Earnhardt ball cap to your Dale Earnhardt jersey.
Okay.
Then it's formal. But if you mismatch, you're a louse.
Okay, gotcha. It's good to know.
That's right.
But people can be angry anywhere. They can be angry in big cities. They can be angry in small cities. In Missouri, I interviewed a councilman who's getting recalled from his office because some people thought he was being a real jerk at city council meetings. And he was,
Okay.
but everyone else was being bigger jerks to him. So it's like, what do you come down on?
Dang. They
Yeah.
out-jerked him, and then they ousted his jerkery?
Well, the recall election is next week, so fingers crossed.
Stay tuned for that one, everyone.
I'm not sure who I'm crossing my fingers for.
Right? Yeah. That they all die in a fire? I don't know what's the...
You know, it's Missouri, it couldn't hurt.
Right. It's good. It gives nutrients to the soil.
Yeah, back to nature.
That's right. Okay, so from Florida, angry everywhere, Colorado. Have you found any Colorado-ness that shouldn't say Colorado? Or we just blend into the Midwest?
We definitely don't blend in. I actually do a side project called Best Thing, Worst Thing, where I go to different cities and towns and ask people there, what's the best thing about this place? And what's the worst thing about this place? And it's fun because sometimes they agree on everything, sometimes they disagree on everything. And recently I went to Vail, which is the #1 ski resort in the country, and everyone pretty much agreed the nature is the best thing about this. But, you know, when we think of ski towns, we're like, yeah, but something's got to be wrong. It's not like a Disney World perfect thing all the time. And it wasn't. People complained about being shut off from the rest of civilization. They complained about housing. They talked about everything that made a seemingly paradise place something you would think twice about before moving there.
Wow. Right.
And that's the fun thing, because like when you think about the best things and worst things about places, it's like, okay, people are going to complain about traffic everywhere, and people are going to say that everyone is nice everywhere. And yeah, there is the fair share of that. But some people tell me, hey, the people here are jerks. And that's refreshingly honest. And then some people say things like, the worst thing is the wind. I get sand in my face every week, and it sucks. But I still live here for whatever reason.
It's that certain type of abuse you learn to love.
Yeah. People, if you got a good enough reason to stay, it's like, how much can you mount on the opposite side that'll get them to go away? I would think it wouldn't take much for Wyoming, but people love Wyoming for whatever reason.
You know what? I'm sure there are a myriad of beautiful Wyoming reasons out there. I don't know any of them, but
Yeah.
that's my own ignorance, and I love you, Wyoming. Final thoughts, final question. This is political. You're a comedian. You're getting political. Al Franken is a guy. You know, sometimes it's a transition. You're thinking maybe running for something.
Oh, good question. I would love to run a marathon, and then after that, after I'm all sexy and in shape, I'll think about putting my face out there for election.
Oh. Would you go city council? Just go straight into, gateway to get your feet wet.
After seeing what these people have to sit through every week, I'm not so sure. Because they basically volunteer to get abused. I mean, it's all abuse, but for them, they're essentially regular people doing important things with a camera on them. And so, like, if someone's chewing them out left and right, they have to sit there and go, "Thank you for your comment, citizen."
Right.
And if you're in Congress, you can just run away. You don't have to talk to anybody.
Gotcha. Good. All right. Well, you're picking your battles. And I wish you luck. Thank you very much for being with us.
Oh, thank you, Dan.
Appreciate it. Michael Karlik, everybody.